Okay, here we are. We are live. I just joined with TikTok. Hopefully, they'll be able to hear you and I, Lisa. And
Yes.
because they only see me right now, but I did show them you.
Okay.
I don't know. Did I show them you? Do you guys want to see? It's Lisa and I. We've been doing this for quite some time. And,
Hello.
hi. And usually usually it has only been just Lisa and I, and we have some great conversations, and y'all have loved it. It's like girl talk. That's what we should name this, girl talk. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
but we have guys too. We have lots of
That is
guys.
true. That is true. We really do. So that makes it nice. We do have some of you guys joining us too. So
We love that.
can we get a
Yes.
high five on that? Boom. Boom.
Boom.
So anyway,
Boom.
hey, you're in lovely Cabo. We're just got over, I don't know what we just got over, winter icy weather here in the
Oh,
Portland area,
horrible.
you know. So
I
anyway, how's
know.
life?
I know. Life is great. I
Yeah.
love that we did not even talk about this and we
Yeah.
both showed up in red. I love it. I mean,
Lisa
we don't
and
wear red
I
very
are
often.
red. Red, 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 red.
Yeah, we
Good.
don't wear red
And
very often.
that
And
is
so
Lisa. That's me. And our guest is going to be Isabel.
awesome. Well, thank you
Hey,
everyone for
hang on,
signing.
Lisa. If you guys can
Okay.
give me a heads up, TikTok with a thumbs up, and let me know if you can hear this conversation as well, even though you can't see it. I'm really sorry about that, but we're still trying to figure out how to get you on with YouTube, Facebook, and everyone else all at the
Yeah,
same time. So, anyway.
all at the same time. All right.
Okay.
Good check in. Well, thank you everyone for watching either on Facebook, YouTube, uh, Spotify, Pandora, Google, Amazon, that are some of our favorite podcasts, Instagram, and TikTok. We've got a huge audience. I love
Yeah,
it. It's just such
we
a
do.
community. You know, everybody comes from all over. So,
Well, the one
um,
thing I like too, not only do they come from all over, you guys come from all over, but I mean, we definitely got that core age group, but we have a spectrum of an age group, you
yes.
know, between you and obviously I realize that a lot of people are coming on because of the show, but I'm hoping that they're staying because, they just like, lighthearted fun. And we get into
Yeah.
some topics that I think are really thoughtful. And we are just beginning to have a guest once in a while, which I think is awesome. And so, yeah, just getting some different perspectives and stuff. So I think that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well, I wanted to thank our producer, Naveed Sanati from Khorasan Media, because we couldn't do this without you, Naveed. So thank you
He
so
helps
much.
very much with technical stuff.
And look, we signed on today with no problems. I hate to jinx it, but it's like,
I know.
oh, this worked. It just was smooth.
Well,
So
you're
we're
in
getting
Mexico,
there.
so hopefully your internet will stay on, and mine too.
Yes, yes,
You
mine
know.
too. We're all good. I bought the extra package, so hopefully it
Okay.
doesn't have issues. So
Well,
yeah,
let's
well
put
let's
some
shout out.
shout outs on, with people.
Mhm.
There's so many people coming on right now, which is great. And if you guys have any questions or anything, hopefully you read my post on IG and TikTok and hopefully YouTube too. But if you have a question, type it in the comments area and we'll try and drag those in because we
Yeah,
want you to be a part of this, besides us just,
yeah,
talking. And believe me, Lisa and I can
yeah.
talk, don't we?
We can
We
talk.
talk.
Well, I wanted to give a special shout out to Rebecca Weigel. It looks like her 50th birthday's coming up on Saturday.
Um,
So happy birthday to
to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday
you.
to you. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Blah blah blah
Happy,
blah.
happy birthday to you.
To
Becky, happy 50th.
you.
And to
Yay,
everyone
yay.
who's had a birthday. So yeah, thank
Yes,
you for that.
I know. They're always coming. They keep coming.
They
These
do.
birthdays, they
Well, we've got
do.
Eugene, Oregon. I saw someone from Eugene, Oregon here. Someone's
Mhm.
asking how is Molly. Oh, I'll be 64 on Saturday. Someone just piped in.
Patricia, happy
It is
birthday, Patricia. Yay.
76 today. Oh my goodness.
Woohoo.
Birthday. And my
Yes.
son just celebrated. He's 27, Jacob, who's married to Isabel, who will be on here in in a little bit. He just turned 27, January 17th. So
My gosh,
yeah,
27. Oh, that's
I
awesome.
know.
Well, let's do some special shout outs to Little People Big World fans. We have Juan Martinez from Seattle, Washington.
Woohoo, Northwest. And we have Martha Holstein from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, and I picked this guy because this one we just have to say hi. He is on. I saw him on, but
He
Dan
said hi to him
Bertoni.
before.
Yeah, he actually was he was on before, but Dan Bertoni, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, one of our big fans. So hey,
Yeah.
Dan, thanks for always tuning in.
And we have Marie Pirelli from Hoboken, New
Oh,
Jersey.
Hoboken, no
Hoboken?
bunkin.
Oh, yeah, I put an N in there, didn't I?
You did. I
Hoboken, New
love it.
Jersey. Well, I've heard that name before, but I wanna give
Yay.
a shout out in case my good friend Kay is watching in
Mhm.
Michigan, my good friend Ellen may be watching in Michigan, and who else?
Deb.
Oh, yeah, Deb. Oh my gosh, how could I
Hey,
forget Deb?
Deb. I haven't seen
Debbie.
her on here yet, but she might be on. We'll see.
Yeah, well, if she is, hi, Deb. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hi from
Okay.
Ireland. Angela, TikTok, Ireland. I'm coming to see Ireland. Chris and I
Oh
are
my
flying out
gosh.
March 12th to Ireland for my nephew's wedding. He chose to get married in Ireland. It's a very special place, I think, for his future wife, Marielle. But we're coming to Ireland. We fly into Dublin, and then we go about 2 hours northwest. We're staying at some castle, but it's just over the border of
Wow.
Northern Ireland. So we're in Ireland for
Wow.
2 days, then we go to Northern Ireland, and then I don't know what to see in a very short amount of time. So anyway.
That's a lot. I know you're gonna have to do some planning. Some planning.
Oh, yeah, and you know what else happened? When it rains, it kind of pours. I don't like unexpected stuff, even though, I've handled so much of unexpected stuff, raising kids,
Yes.
being married
Yes.
to dad and on the farm and just, stuff. But now we just found out we got to fix our toilet because it was leaking underneath. We didn't even know it, probably for several years. So now we got all this mold and everything. So we dealing
Ew.
with that for the 3 weeks. Now we're getting a contractor out. Oh, and then Chris says, "Oh, yeah, I think we have a leak in our roof." And I'm like, "Oh, aren't you just full of great news,
A
huh?"
leak in the roof?
Somewhere in the roof because
Oh.
it's coming down, and we saw a little dribble down the garage door. So,
Oh. Well, but you
ugh,
guys just had that huge rainstorm, like, one day,
yeah.
it came through was it yesterday where with the thunder and
No, it
lightning?
was just
Or day before?
it's been going on for the last week,
But
you
I
know?
thought there was some kinda crazy thunder and lightning thing that
And
happened.
in some parts of
Uh,
the giant causeways, I know. I think I've been there when I went to Belfast. Um, yeah, I mean, in some parts of the state, it was a little worse, and even in the city area, it was a little worse than other areas, but we did get a downpour and then it stopped. So, oh, hi from
oh,
Brevoort, Michigan. Oh, I'm coming to see my dad, like, next Thursday. We might go up
awesome.
north in the wintertime. I'm sorry, all these, like, I'm just, oh, life is
Here's
crazy
one.
right now.
This is from Judy from Buffalo, Minnesota. I've never heard of Buffalo, Minnesota. I thought she was gonna say New York, but Buffalo,
Yeah.
Minnesota.
The funny thing is, isn't that, Minnesota? Isn't that kind of
Minnesota.
from, Betty White, her character on Golden
Yes,
Girls? Didn't she kind of and I
yes.
think there was a couple other shows that they really emphasized
Well, my family does. I have family
yeah,
in Minnesota. My mom's side of the family is Norwegian, and so Minnesota or
yeah.
Ufda or they have their own little kind of cute, quirky things. I don't know.
Guess
Fun.
who's watching us?
Who?
Just guess. My lovely granddaughter, Lila. Lila, I
Lila's on?
shout out to her.
Oh
Hi,
my
Lila.
gosh.
How are you
Lila.
doing? I'm so excited
Oh,
that you're watching Mimi. Oh,
yay.
Tori must be on briefly and stuff like that. So
Oh,
Lila,
I love
hi.
it. I love
Oh,
it.
that's so sweet. Thank you guys. Thank you so
Oh.
much. But But yeah, so anyway, I might have a roof problem. I mean,
Oh
oh
my
god,
gosh. Oh
no.
my gosh.
So I think this is going to be a tough year financially. I think I'm going to be pouring money into, I don't know,
I
but
think you've got some, yeah, yeah. Here's a shout out from Vancouver, Washington, right over the bridge
hi
from
Isaac.
us.
Yeah, Vancouver, Washington. Well, here's
Yeah.
Bonnie Lake, Washington. We got San Diego, California. We have someone from Kentucky. Now, if we don't say your name, because it goes by so fast, really, people, we have someone from
Yes.
Omaha, Nebraska, Hudson,
Helena.
Michigan.
Helena, Montana, right here. I'll try to grab as many as I can. Uh, yeah. Oh, I just missed that one. It was Jaw in the house. I'm thinking that was Jamaica in the house, right?
No, I don't
So
know.
if that's Jaw, let me know. Let me know. I'm thinking that's Jamaica.
Well,
Uh,
TikTok, we've got Minnesota, we have New Jersey, coast of North Carolina, Puerto Rico,
Portland, Nova
Pittsburgh,
Scotia,
Pennsylvania.
Long Island, New York,
We have the
Auburn, Fort,
Smoky Mountains.
mm,
Oh, I tell
Las
you, you know
Vegas.
what? I think the closer I get to retirement, it's like, oh, I just want to go see all these places.
I
I mean,
know.
it's been
That's
a long time since I've been to the Smoky Mountains. My aunt lived in Tennessee for a while, and I've got cousins that live in North Carolina, and I just want to see that area again. We got Miami, Columbia.
RV. Let's rent an RV and go
I
through
think
the
we
US. We got
but,
to do it.
Chris is gonna wanna come. He's gonna be like, "No way are you traveling the country without me." I'd
Well,
say,
Art can
"Okay,
come too.
well, come
Okay.
along then, because
Yeah, he can drive the RV.
you 2 can, and we'll drive the motorcycle."
No, I can't drive an RV.
You
Art
can't
could
drive the
maybe drive
RV?
it. I don't know. Have you driven the RV before?
Well, no, just because I have to have adjustments and stuff, and I'm not sure I
I
could
know. But
make
didn't Matt drive? He drove a huge RV that you
that.
guys had for an episode, right?
I
Didn't
well,
he drive
Jeremy
one?
did.
Oh,
Oh, he
Jeremy.
Jeremy did. Matt may have for a minute, but, when it comes to
Oh,
TV and stuff like that,
oh,
I don't know.
I got it.
I
Okay.
can't remember how much he drove, but I know Jeremy did drive.
Oh, you're funny.
Maine, good evening, Maine.
Ooh,
Rogers, Texas.
Shauna said she wants to try your chocolate mousse recipe. Try it. We've got a recipe in the cookbook on
No,
Amazon.
wait a
Go
minute.
for
I
it.
have the cookbook right here. Do we even have chocolate mousse in there?
I think so.
You know what's confusing me is some recipes I thought were in here are not, and some recipes that are I didn't think were.
Rainier, Washington.
Isn't that
Well,
kind of crazy?
if it's not in there, we are working on cookbook number 2 and we're going to do a bundle. So, yes, that will be
Well,
very
they can
cool.
find some of it on Amy Roloff's little kitchen
It's a
as
little
well.
kitchen as
Oh yeah,
well.
by the
Yep.
way, guys, see this? Oh
Yay,
yeah,
there it is.
there. But for
That's our
TikTok,
cookbook.
I know it's backwards for you guys, but I do have a cookbook out. I really do, actually. This is real.
Yes. And the
Oh,
QR
wow.
code's down in the bottom here on the picture. So if you guys
Yeah.
want to order one, it's right there on
And
Amazon.
yeah, we're gonna get another one out. So we're gonna bombard you. 1, 2, boom, boom, boom. Let's get it going in the kitchen and cook for you. I don't know.
Cute. That
I
was
came from
good.
school, people.
Rapper. Oh, yeah, you already. Well, I
You
wanted to
gotta
mention too, be ready for our giveaway at the end of the show. 4 lucky winners will receive our new winter fudge. Do you have it there, Amy?
you know what? Chocolate is all gone. Just to repeat
What?
it in case you guys did not hear it, TikTok.
Oh, so we have red velvet. Which one's the red velvet? Let's see that one. Can you,
Red
does
velvet
it
is
have,
here.
does it have anything on top?
Red velvet is here.
Ooh, because these are really like Valentine's. You can
A
give
little
these away
special
as
topping a
Valentine
little bit.
gifts. Yeah. So
Creme
red
brulee.
velvet, creme brulee, and then white chocolate raspberry swirl,
Oh yeah,
and
this is good.
chocolate espresso fudge. So you ate the
Well,
chocolate espresso
yeah,
fudge
we
already?
we we kind of already ate the chocolate, and so now we have to be on to our next one. It doesn't
You're
last very
eating the
long.
samples for the show. Wow. It must have been that good that you
Well,
ate
what
the
was I supposed to
samples.
do? No wonder I have to do all this, and you sit there and be in lovely Cabo.
Oh, well, that looks delicious. So 4 lucky winners, one from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So wait for the code at the end of the show. I'll give you a code and you can type that in, and 4 lucky winners. But if you don't win, you can still buy it on our website. And it just came out yesterday. So it's brand new for winter and kind of,
Well,
again,
it's
for
winter.
Valentine's.
Yeah, so if you do wanna, ship it out for Valentine's as a gift to other people or to yourself or your family or something like that, I would definitely try and do that within the next week.
Yes.
Just to make sure you're guaranteed there. And so TikTok, if you didn't hear, we're doing a giveaway for you guys being live with me and Lisa and our guests. So I'm definitely hoping that you can hear them. I'd love to position you a different way, but it's going to be kind of weird just looking at a computer the whole time. So hopefully you can
Amy's
hear
got
Lisa.
TikTok on her phone. That's why she's
Yeah.
talking over there.
Yeah, sorry.
For a
And
minute.
so TikTok, we're going to give a special code towards the end, but we're giving away some of the fudge. So one of you
Yay.
guys will have one of this fudge. The unfortunate thing, though, because I know TikTok, there's a lot of you outside of the US, but we can only do this giveaway within the United States, within
Yes.
the 48
Because
continental.
the product will spoil if it takes too long to ship over. So yes, this is for the US, just so everybody
I don't think
knows.
we're able to ship it overseas anyway, but
Yeah, well, it goes through customs and then it takes
yeah.
too long and the cost and all that. So it's through the US.
It's
Someone asked
locally
if it's
made.
gluten-free. Someone asked if it's gluten-free. You can go on our website, Amy
Yeah.
Roloff's Little Kitchen, and you'll see all the ingredients. So you can decide if it's right for you. I'm not saying yes or no. Just go on the site and you'll see the different ingredients.
But this
Let's see.
fudge is locally made, so it's
Yes, in a
it's
commercial kitchen, not in
yeah.
Amy's kitchen.
No, I have not personally made this, but we work with them and doing some flavors and things like that. So anyway, okay, let's do some shout.
Yes. Okay, a
We
few
got
more.
Indiana. We got hello lady from Marquette, Michigan.
Ooh,
Marquette, did they win the basketball game? I can't remember who it was from this way. Okay, Michigan. Who's watching the Super Bowl, people? Oh, not the Super Bowl. It's not on yet.
yeah,
Who was watching the
coming.
last games this weekend of football? You guys root for the Lions. I have a feeling this is going to be one tough game against San Francisco 49ers. Tough, tough, tough. Usually, I'm not really into football. I only watch the teams I like, which is the Lions, the Michigan teams,
Oh,
maybe,
oh,
or Seattle, because Chris likes the Seattle Seahawks, of course. But you guys, the Lions have never gone to the Super Bowl. Come on.
never. Okay.
Forget about
Yeah.
your other teams that you're rooting for. Forget about them. Who cares? Let's just give some cheer and some mojo to the Detroit Lions and just make this one spectacular
Yay.
Super Bowl with one
Barb
team.
says, yes, go Lions.
See?
Thanks, Barb.
I know. Go Lions. Lions, are you watching me? I am a
Ooh,
Michigan fan.
Diana says, I like Lions better than 49ers. Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay. Woo. Julie says, Lions can do it.
Yep.
I
Adela,
love it.
go Lions. Yes, we've got to root for the Lions, you guys. We've
Oh,
got to have them. Oh, yep. Sorry, a 49ers fan. I don't.
yeah.
Yeah. Austin
Yep.
said go Lions.
Oh, lots of lions. Leanne Henry, we love the Lions. Yay.
Someone from Sterling Heights, go Lions. Yes, we got to root for our Lions. Yeah, go Kathy from TikTok, go Lions. Hola. Let's see here. Oh, Chiefs all the way, of course, Kansas City Chiefs. But you know what? I can see that you're a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, but come on, they won already. Who cares
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Taylor Swift? They won already. Taylor, you gotta have some of
Oh,
your
don't
mojo.
just.
No, Taylor, you gotta have some of your mojo go towards the Lions. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, really? Would you, if you were in her position? Probably
Yes,
not.
because you know what? I love an underdog.
Good
Love an
for
underdog.
you. Good for you.
Go
All
Ravens, go
right.
Detroit. They'll be
Okay.
in anyway, enough of that.
You really set off this thing on fire. Wow, wow, everybody. I love it. Okay, well, let's talk about
Football.
our special guest today. Okay. Isabel's married to Amy's youngest son, Jacob, and they have a wonderful 2-year-old son named Matteo. We can't wait to get an update on their family and Isabel's journey. So let's welcome Isabel Roloff.
Hi.
Hey, Izzy.
Here, I'll turn you guys around TikTok. That is my daughter-in-law. Isabel's going to be joining us. Oh, we don't hear you. Do I hear you, Isabel?
Oh, okay. How
There
about
you
now?
go.
Hello.
It's like, no technical difficulties, please.
Hi, TikTok. Hi, everyone.
You know what?
Hey.
I had a thought, and I cannot remember that thought. But oh yeah, this was the thought. You know what I'm living through, like you, Tori, Audrey, fourth, and you just having one, but Zach and Tori have 3 and everything. I think the thing that I'm living through is, oh my God, life is chaotic with kids.
What was
You know, all the stuff you've got to do, running around, and all of that stuff. And I'm thinking, but then I'm thinking, well, look how old you are, Amy. They're young. They'll be able to do it. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
forgot how chaotic life can be, raising kids, whether you have to work or you're working at home, and which can always be a challenge when you've got kids running around. So, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a comment.
Oh, hello. Hola. I like when people recognize if they don't know that my name is a Spanish name. So we get some.
Isabel. Yeah.
Well, it's
Is
Isabel, but.
Oh,
Isa.
Isabel. Oh, yes. Okay.
I
Thanks
know
for that correction.
my dad growing up used to correct me. If I introduced myself as Isabel, he would say, no, it's Isabel. So
Isabel. If you guys, no, I'm not going to talk for you. So give a little brief, your family, part of your family, not your mom, but part of your family is from Chile.
Yep.
And then your mom is from Iowa.
Yep.
So what questions do we have here? What are we doing here?
Let her talk about her family.
That's a very interesting combination. So my dad came from Chile when he was 17, and then he went to college in Iowa, and that's how my parents met. So my mom, little Irish farm girl, married my dad, and then they had my brothers in Iowa, but I'm the first family member to be born in Oregon. So kind of
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, she was really fascinated by my ancestors who came on the Oregon Trail to Oregon, and then they went back to Iowa. So she was always kind of intrigued by why did they go back, and like what was Oregon all about. So
right.
And I would have to say, just seeing a few of the pictures from, of your mom that you have, that a lot of you and your 2 brothers look a lot like your mom.
The Irish genes are strong.
Yeah.
Strong genes. Strong genes.
But, you look a lot like your mom.
Yeah, a lot.
Well,
give us an update on living on the farm. Where are you on the farm? What's happening?
Yeah, so we just moved in December to Matt's old house on the farm, and we're loving it. Matteo, our 2-year-old son, he just lives for the farm life, and we take care of 35 chickens, and we have a cow, Harley the cow, and we have 3 goats, couple dogs, barn kittens, and a bunny. So there are a lot of animals to take care of. And
well, the other thing is Jacob works full time on the farm.
Yeah.
You guys aren't just hanging out there doing nothing,
Right. So Jacob takes care of basically everything on the farm. Then I take care of the animals, and then Matteo helps me too. But I'm raising Matteo, and Jacob's working full time, and it works out really nicely. And I'm kind of slowly getting back into what I did before I was a mom. So I was a full-time artist, and I had my own art business and stuff. And so now that Matteo's 2, I feel like a lot of moms can relate. Like the older the kid gets, the more independent they become, and then you can kind of start to find the things that you did before becoming a parent. So I'm getting back into that slowly. And
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any of your art that you could show? Because when you I
have a piece back here.
Oh, do you? Because Isabel, when you were talking about that, I was thinking more like when your kids start getting older, you find these little pockets of time. You
Yeah.
wish you kind of had more until they get into school, but finding these little pockets of time just to kind of,
I don't know if that made it better or not, but
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
So
that's
tell
awesome.
us about that piece. What kind of a technique is that?
oh, so this is my acrylic on canvas, and then I also used some pastel, like gold pastel, and I mean the technique abstract is kind of hard to describe. So abstract art, I'm kind of just feeling out the colors. And if you're an artist, you might be able to relate that you kind of just see everything in color, and so you're kind of always, I'll just like wake up from a dream and have these colors that I want to go together, and I don't even really know where it comes from. But playing with different colors on canvas, what works, what doesn't. So this one was just kind of inspired, like the teals and the blues and the greens. Ocean, I'm inspired by the ocean a lot. So
Inspired by the water.
yeah, inspired by the water. So yeah, I just thought I'd have this painting back here as a little self-promotion.
Yeah, no.
Very
I think
cool.
that's great because, like I said, I think, when you're a new mom, especially living on the farm and you're not in a neighborhood, sometimes it's hard to connect. And especially if you're in a different season of life than some of your other friends,
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
Because you love where you're at, because I mean, what better life is there for a kid than being raised on the farm?
Yeah.
But still, you still want to find these pockets of time to keep yourself what's that word? Rejuvenated
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So that you
Reconnected.
can continue to be, the best mom that you can be, to refresh, to give you fuel and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. No, and with Jacob working on the farm, we have to be very conscious of, working where you live can be complicated and stuff. So he helps me with Matteo, but I'm really the one who's doing a lot of it, and I'm stay-at-home mom. But I'm also thinking back to, like my mom, she was a very involved and present mom, but she also had a career. So kind of letting myself just recognize that I can be a present and involved mom while also having my things and having a career. And I'm really passionate about painting and writing. And Matteo, I just saw somebody said, who is watching the toddler? He's with Jacob right now.
Yes.
So they are outside because one thing about that kid, he loves being outside, no matter, rain or shine. So I just think that it's really, for me, it's been this constant battle between like, okay, I want to be a present mom, but I want to do the things. And so just finding that balance that I've seen other women and other people around me achieve. And I do, you brought up Audrey and like people with so many kids. I'm like, how do they have time to do literally anything? Like I just can't, but they make it work. They have a balance and they ask for help, and they're like, they do it, obviously. So I watch them do it. I know it's possible. So I'm finding my own ways through it all. And
to me, that is the key thing, because it's good to see other people be able to find that balance. And, and even Tori, she's trying to find, what her new thing is going to be.
Yeah.
And along with Zach, and, Jacob is working on the farm, and he's also doing, Helvetia Gardens, which he wants to get into more stuff when it comes to agriculture or farming, and which means like plants and herbs and, things like that. And you guys got a ton of eggs, where I get my eggs from the farm.
Yeah, more eggs than we know what to do with.
So, it's good to look at other people, but I look at Jaren Odge. I mean, she's been in that mode ever since I've known her. Right. So just adding more and more on, it becomes just a norm. So eventually it will become a norm to you as you figure this out. And then you decide, well, if we're going to have another kid, should we, make it happen now, so that when they both get into school or whatever schooling you're going to do, you can continue to find more and more time in that niche for yourself as well.
Yeah, the nice thing about writing, one of my big passions, is that like I can do it when he's napping or sleeping.
Yeah.
But art and painting, I notice, is just a little bit different because I used to just paint for 5 hours at a time and just like not think about time, and you know, and now I can't do that, obviously.
Like, oh, he's hungry. Oh, he needs to get changed. Oh,
exactly. Oh, speaking of, they just got back from their adventures. So
because well, Lisa, do you want to read this comment from Denise?
oh, let me put.
Yes. What a blessing, Isabel. Remember to always take time each day of the week for yourself. Don't give up on your dreams and independence. That goes for Jacob too. So very cool. Thank you, Denise, for that comment. We really, appreciate that.
I think one of the other things that, you know, as I, you know, was able to stay at home, and I don't regret it at all. And I feel for those women who want to stay home, but unfortunately, for whatever the circumstances are, they're not able to.
Yeah.
The other thing is to not like avoid the temptation of like feeling guilty because you're taking time for yourself, but also feeling guilty because being a mom takes up so much time. This kid takes up so much time. He's always needy and, you know, things like that. I just think we've got to find something that constantly gives that as a blessing. Having a child that you brought into the world is always a blessing. I don't care if they're having the temper tantrums, you know, the 2s and 3s, or because this is a lifelong journey. And you know, there's no room for guilt on either side.
Right.
That's huge. And it always feels good to hear that from a seasoned parent. Because I think just an early, like we're 2 years in, so I still feel that guilt. And, you know, Jacob's really involved dad. So I do feel for, you know, growing up, I did see a lot of like single moms and stuff. Mm-hmm. And my own mom, my parents were separated. And so I have a lot of respect for those, because it's a really hard job. And so we definitely just the guilt thing, you know, when you go to bed at night, or when you put the baby to bed or put the kid to bed, and then you think about all the things that you wish you'd done differently or whatever, you know, or you feel guilty because you're like, I took that time for myself when I should have been with them, you know, just kind of trying to quiet those thoughts that you have, and just realize that you got to take time for yourself.
Yeah, you do have to take time for yourself, but also you have to be, when you are with, even if you are an at-home mom, because sometimes when we're an at-home mom, we're doing the laundry, we're cooking dinner, we're preparing this, or we're taking, you know, our kids or our child somewhere else, you know, blah, blah, blah. Also find that really quality time, that it's just you sitting down and just playing with them. Because like I've mentioned this long before, okay, I didn't have the neatest house, but to me it was like I could be cleaning all day till, you know, hell freezes. But this moment of just drawing with my kid, or doing a puzzle, or playing trucks, or playing dolls, or whatever it may be, those moments aren't going to come back at that.
No, that's what you have to remember, is take the time to enjoy every moment that you can, because you will never get that back. And, you know, Amy and I, being older, seasoned parents now, and my youngest is going to be 24. It's like, wait a second, you just blink and they're grown up. So don't worry about, you know, who you're going to please. And if things get done, like Amy said, if the dishes don't get done or something doesn't happen, that does not matter in the big picture. What matters in the big picture are those life experiences that you share with your child and nurture them.
But the other thing I'm saying too is that it doesn't give you the go ahead to neglect responsibilities like laundry and just letting it go in your house and, you know, everything like that. It's like we've been talking about, life is constantly full of balances and adjusting to change, and sometimes multitasking, but we're all in one way, shape, form, or another very capable of doing it. And, you know, Isabel, you're fortunate enough to, you know, have your sister-in-laws around, you know, for various things. They each, you know, offer and give and are here to support you. And of course me. But I feel for those that, you know, don't have that kind of community around
Yeah.
it. Like, I didn't have that community. Meaning, yes, if I called on the phone, my sisters were there, but like in my physical community.
Yeah, and I just about what we were saying about like don't neglect the chores, but they can also wait. And I saw something the other
Yes.
day that said that kids don't need to be entertained; they need to be involved. And
Right.
I thought
Perfect.
that was great because I'll be trying to do of course, whatever task it may be, it's going to take longer than if you just do it alone. But I try to help, like if I need to switch the laundry over, and I'll just try to be like, okay, Matteo, can you grab the small pieces and put, and okay, you can press the button,
Yeah.
Yes.
trying to
Yes.
involve him more so I can get those things done, but knowing that he's part of the process, so he knows that he has like chores are what make a home.
Purpose.
Yeah,
And a purpose.
yeah, and we all have to like contribute to make the home run smoothly.
Yeah.
And
that's a big word right there. Is I wasn't always so great at that because we had that big element in our life, TV. So who there wasn't a lot of time to teach in that process. But you also want to help kids. This is your home as well. Granted, mom and dad are in charge and we'll kind of manage it all, but you've got to be a part of it because you are part of this home. And helping them understand it takes everyone to make this happen.
Yeah.
I love this comment from Judy. My mom would take us outside and look at the clouds and tell her what we saw in them. It didn't cost anything to do that, and it's something I will never forget doing with her. That's
Judy,
that's
great.
awesome. Yeah, forget doing with her. That's awesome. I love that.
I love that.
Because it's part of nature, and I think that's another whoever said that, because I've heard it before, and it's when you only have one kid and you're the at-home mom, they look at you as their entertainment.
Right.
But I remember, obviously I had twins first of all, but then I'm my only daughter. But I remember saying, if I needed to do something, it's like, you know what? Take a moment, go in your room and just play. Just read a book or, spend some time just by themselves. Because kids really need, I think more so than ever, to learn how to like being with themselves.
Yeah.
Without all this bombardment. Meaning, like you made the comment, like I gave Matteo this one toy for Christmas. I thought it was great because you can imagine yourself and all these different things. But he might have been a little bit too young for it. But some of these toys, you press a few buttons, it makes noise. Okay, it's done. Kids are done with it. It's not creative enough at that particular age for them. So really trying to give toys that they've got to engage themselves with. They've got to be the entertainment, like a train set. Okay, where's the train going? You can build the tracks. You can change the tracks. Maybe it gets in a crash up, maybe, whatever it is. But
yeah, and a lot of people might not know this about me, but I also grew up out in the country just down the road.
I know, from us.
Yeah, we were neighbors and we didn't even know.
Yeah.
But I was always just playing outside, and I was outside alone a lot. My brothers were, a decade older than me, so they would be off doing teenage stuff, and so I'd be outside with my dog and self-entertaining, and I really want to nurture that in him. And we go outside and we spend a lot of time outside, but I find myself kind of inserting, and I think as parents it's really easy to do, but I just want to take a step back and just see just let his imagination grow, instead of being like, oh, do you see that? Or do you see that? Just kind of like let him take it all in. But we definitely spend a lot of time outside, which I'm really grateful for, because that's all I could ever ask for. I think, like you said, it's a really fun place to grow up. And I think taking care of the animals on the farm helps to teach him responsibility, that like, okay, we have other things we do our morning chores. We go outside, we do our morning chores, and it's kind of this routine that he can count on. And we collect our eggs. Aww. And we, it's just kind of a nice, we get to be outside, and we also have, although the ice storm, we were kind of stuck inside. So
yes,
we had a little more screen time than we usually do because we were, stuck inside.
Yeah. Well, I have a question for you. How would you describe Matteo's personality?
Oh, that's a good one. I'll describe it, and then we'll see what his Mimi thinks. What you think, Amy?
What?
Matteo is adventurous, spunky. Yeah, he's outgoing.
Well, I think Matteo is he's used to having response. You know, when you're raising a kid, he's used to people coming at him, you know, right, all the time. And but he talks so well. He's very communicative.
Yeah, I'm communicative. Yeah.
Yes, he's very communicative. He talks well. I'm amazed at his age, at what, just over 2, at how well he does talk. You know, like any 2-year-old, he can get kind of frustrated when it's not instant.
Yeah.
Because, obviously food, you're raising a kid, you're breastfeeding for the first year and everything.
Yeah.
And then still things are just instant. And this is a transition period to help him. Well, things don't come exactly when you want it, when you would like. And so to me, it's just, helping them to understand. Yeah, you'll get it. It's okay. It's okay, Matteo. We'll just keep playing here or there. And, like he did earlier, no one saw, but, he'll say like, no, ah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, typical. So
those are, you know what? Every child has such a different personality too. You just never know. You could have a calm one that's like, okay, I'll sit down and wait for the dinner. I'll wait for the food to come to the table. And the other one's like, I need it now.
Oh, like, that's so funny you say that, Lisa, because we went on a date night the other night and there was a baby and she was probably like 19 months or something. So younger than Matteo, granted. But I just couldn't, I kept being like, she's so calm. That is a calm kid. Like, I just kept, and I think the mom was kind of like, what is this lady? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm just admiring that really calm baby because we don't really go out to eat anymore because
you can't. Yeah. Dominic, my youngest, was the same way. He'd run circles. He couldn't even sit in a booth at the table. He felt enclosed and he would go crazy. Yeah. Probably from the age of 2 to 5, we didn't go out to dinner with him.
But I think
because he couldn't deal with it.
And I think one of the things to, help kids do that is obviously take a break from going out, but have like a date night with your kid. Like, hey, we're out to dinner, but it's here. Guess what we're going to have? This is how just to help them learn.
Not if they're driving you nuts and they don't listen.
Well, but it goes in little things though.
I know what you're saying. I'm just giving you a bad time.
Because sometimes I think if we don't do certain things at home in a way that helps them to know what to do out there, it's harder to, I think we set our kids up for failure if we don't kind of help teach them at home certain things, because it's overstimulation. It's overload when you go out anywhere.
I will say the other thing he is really courageous. He really, like I notice in him,
he wants
my dad
to engage.
Yeah. And my dad says it's fearless, but he's not totally fearless. He has his things that he's afraid of, but he's definitely like risk taking. Like he started climbing to the top of the play structure really young, just like, courageous, brave. Like he's a very,
like all my kids.
Yeah. He's going to try it. Yeah. He reminds me of Jacob in that way. Like, where's Jacob? Oh, he's up in the tree, that's Jake. Matteo is like that a lot, and my brother was like that too. And Nico, my other brother, and I always said that he took all the like courageousness for the three of us. Like he was so fearless, and Nico and I are more reserved and guarded. And so I kind of like that about Matteo, that he's just willing to try new things, and like he's pretty adventurous with food too. Like my friend Michelle was like, "Oh yeah, I gave him mussels while I was watching him." Just like, I gave him sardines. I'm like, you what? And he loved them. And I'm like, okay.
Well, you know what? I'd like to say that this is typically the thing that a lot of moms do when they get together and they have kids, or like, I've got grandkids, so I'll talk about them a lot when I'm with friends, or try to anyway, because everyone wants to talk about their kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we really want to hear a little bit more about you. We love Matteo. I love Matteo.
Yeah.
But how are you doing as a mom right now? And also, we really want to hit on, you had posted a little bit on Instagram. You are a fabulous writer. poems and stuff like that. Isabel has hesitated. Oh, well, I don't know if I should put this in a book form and
Oh
everything.
boy.
I said, you know what? Give it a try. Just, don't go full bore publisher and all that stuff, but find a way to, maybe put a little book together of special poems that people can read to be inspiring for that day or something like that. But are you doing anything with the stuff you write with in your poems?
Hold on, real quick. I just have to acknowledge this comment.
Oh,
Somebody said
okay.
Isabel favors Stevie Nicks.
Oh, yeah.
If you know me at all, thank
Jacqueline.
Thank you. Thanks, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Love Stevie Nicks. Amy and I actually saw Fleetwood Mac live a couple years ago. So
Yes,
that
the
was
mother-in-law went out with the daughter-in-law.
That's
that was peak
awesome.
life experience. Thank you. That was very generous comment. Thank you.
Yes.
So, Amy, you will be happy to know that I was actually working on said poetry book today while Matteo was napping.
Yeah.
It's about 130 pages, a collection of poems that I've written from a teenager up until now. I'm 27, so I'm hoping that next month I will be able to put it out there for my, my Substack followers and my Instagram. Somebody said my niece has published 4 poetry books. I love that.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Judy.
Thanks for sharing that, Judy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean,
I think writing poetry is kind of a gift. We often have a lot of words in our own head, but to be able to put words together and put it into something, I think is a big kudos to do.
And I really appreciate the encouragement because I think that I've read these poems in this book over and over so many times that it just like doubt starts to creep in. So when outsiders or people who have never, people who are following me and they give me encouragement, I really appreciate that because I know that I need it sometimes. Follow that writing dream I always fought.
Jones State Farm.
Wow, cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, you know what? The reason I tell you that, like I've told Zach and, a lot of my kids and everything like that, fear is in all of us. Trying something new, putting ourselves out there, getting outside the box. Yes, it is scary. It's not easy. And to me, it's courageous. It takes a lot of guts. And like I went on I did a lot of speaking before COVID and everything hit. And, but each and every time I got up there, I was scared to death. I was scared. I was like, oh my Lord, what in the world am I doing?
And she's been on TV for 20 years.
But the thing is, it's a whole different thing because it's an edited television show. And when you're live, when you're doing a speaking thing, it's like there's no correction here. I mean, if you flop, you flop. And you're not sure if people will give you a little bit of grace or not because, they've taken their time to come and see you or they have, paid to come and see you or whatever it may be. So anyway, to me, it's like, I encourage you because it's tough, but you got to overcome that fear. And if you don't do it again, you don't do it again. But if you never have done it, you'll always wonder if you could.
Yeah.
Right.
That's something I don't want to ever, I would love to write like novels and a memoir one day. So like the poetry book feels like it's kind of just getting my toes wet.
Matteo probably wanted to join us, and his dad, my son Jacob, is saying, "Not right now, Matteo. Not right now. We're going to go do something else." And like a typical 2-year-old, what?
Yeah.
You're telling me no?
But I really admire you, Amy, because that is one of my biggest. Actually, that's one of the most common fears, like ever, is public speaking.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And like you've done it multiple times.
Yep.
Well, just the fact that she decided to go back to school and to substitute teach. I mean, she just marched right into the school and jumped in the big deep end of the pool and did it like a couple months ago. I'm like, wow, that was amazing.
It's amazing.
Talk about brave.
Yeah, but it's amazing
Yes.
the older you get how it's like, you know what? I worried about that way too long. And going back into teaching, I mean, I loved it. Having been able to teach a kindergarten class, a first grade class, absolutely love it. I think I did a great job considering you're just plopped in there for the day, not knowing any of the
Yeah.
kids or anything.
Yeah.
The teachers that I did substitute for were fabulous on their notes and, giving me a heads up of what they would like me to do for that day. But also it's a whole different world than when I did this way, long
Way,
ago. And that
way
to
back.
me is an intimidating thing because, some of these kids are knowing more than you do, but you're there to help them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just,
Well, this
yeah,
is a excellent comment from Sheila because you created this
yeah.
years ago. We put
Amy
on a few
Roloff Charity Foundation.
charity foundation, and we had a golf tournament. We had several years of golf tournaments. And Sheila's saying one of my
Sheila, thank
husband's
you.
favorite story to tell is the time he was at a golf tournament, and on one of the holes he had to use Amy's golf club.
Because it was my hole. I was at a
That
particular hole.
threw every
Yep,
serious golfer that came out was like, oh yeah, I've got to get this score, I've
yep.
got to do this. And we were trying to kind of incorporate helping kids, but at the same time bringing something different, here, try this. And yeah,
But
it was an
but one of the
interesting.
reasons I wanted to do that, because, Lisa and I, we did this for quite some time with a whole team and everything. But one of the reasons I wanted to do that is it's like we were raising kids that have their own challenges, maybe disabilities or whatever it may be. And you can never always know where things are coming from. You may not always be prepared. So I thought, how could I shake this up? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to have them use my uh uh
Golf club.
no, but what's the first club
Oh,
that you do to hit the ball?
the driver.
Oh yeah, the driver. Oh my
You were
goodness.
at the top. You were at the top, yeah, of
So they had
the
to use
hole.
my driver. Well, my driver is a lot shorter than their driver. And if you have a serious golfer, especially talking to a guy who doesn't want to look foolish or anything like that, and I told
Yes,
myself
all
that
these
that
things.
is the point. And I tell you, some of these guys were like, no, what? I can't use that club. And I pushed it. But of course, if they really pushed hard back, I thought, okay, this is a charity event. I'm just glad you came. I let them use their own club.
Yes.
But some of the other guys goes, oh, come on, you got to do this, And so they used, my club. But I tell you, some of them thought, oh my gosh, I'm hitting the ball better with your club than my club.
But they
But
tried it. That's the whole thing. They were afraid. They
yes.
were afraid to look bad. They were afraid not to get a good score. But Amy's whole point was you put yourself in my shoes, right?
Or not
Try
only my
something
shoes, but these
different.
kids' shoes
Yes,
who
these
are
kids.
facing these challenges.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you made that much of an impression. That was
Yeah.
pretty good. We're
Oh, you know
still
what? A
hearing that
lot of
story.
people, not a
Thanks,
lot of
Sheila.
people, but a lot of people still come up to me if they remember and say, you know what? That was one of the best golf tournaments I ever been to. I'm like, oh my gosh,
We know
but
how to throw a party.
we do. We
Well,
do.
that's a great word to describe Amy is like brave.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's where Matteo gets it.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, there are definitely times where I definitely have to push through it. Definitely have to push through it. But there are probably a lot more times where I didn't and I waited too long and the time had already passed and I can't think of a thing right now. Well, teaching was one of them, going to college and majored in business instead of teaching. I've told that story before and it's in my book. But it's it takes work. You really got to it takes some mental work to really push past that because it's what I call the what ifs. Many people have talked about the what ifs, but you could really allow the what ifs to take over so easily. Maybe
Right.
think about it for a moment, but I'd like to say, but what happens if you don't do it? If you don't give it a try? If you think you put your heart into it, you had the best intentions, that's really all that you can ask for. Because
Yeah.
not everything in life is going to come out perfect and be happy and go lucky. And tell you the truth, I've told my kids, yeah, sometimes life sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. If you
Yeah.
know that, what are you going to do when that happens. And I always say, what is your foundation? What is that core thing, regardless of what life is doing? Great, spectacular, it's happy, man, I'm on top of the world. Well, you're also going to have some valleys that are going to be hard, tough, sad, disappointing, hurtful, heart-wrenching. But it's like, wait a minute, but how do I pick myself up? There's got to
Right.
be something.
Yeah.
And, for a lot of people, it's the faith, it's my faith, my Christian faith. And lately, I think it's this necklace that I wear, MVP. It doesn't stand for most valuable player. No, let's not get too high of ourselves. But to me, it's more about reminding myself, regardless of what happens or some of the choices I make, I still matter. I still have value. I still have purpose. It's not like that has all gone away because something didn't work out or you fail. So
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes we got to give us moms a little break.
I know. I know.
That comment that was just prior to this one, thank you, Jamie, where it said you're a fantastic cook. And that's something that I wanted to mention. I'm really getting, now that I have a full kitchen, I'm getting into cooking, and I've gotten some tips from, Amy before. And you taught me the other day how to cook chicken, which seems silly to some, but I have literally, up until then, hadn't ever cooked chicken. So she kind of let me take over in the kitchen. Not take over.
We cooked together.
We cooked together.
Did you get a video of that, Amy?
No, we have a photo. But it was really quick and everything. I mean, sometimes these videos, I really have to set up the video because it's, I capture the moment, but it's incomplete.
You kind of have to plan. You have to kind of plan for that. And
we will do a cooking thing together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
do a live TikTok, cook something.
Yeah, because you not spoil, but you raised Jacob in such a way that I'm like going to the store and getting pre-made cookie dough, and he's like, "Excuse me, we're not going to make them from scratch." I'm like, and so I'm now it's good because it encourages.
Oh, thank you, Nikki.
It encourages me to
sets the bar a little higher, right? Right.
But I'm a big fan of Ina Garten. She's a world-known fairy. I love her. She's been cooking for a long, long, long time. She's got a lot of cookbooks out. I'm really a fan of her because when she talks about cooking and entertaining, she goes, it's okay to sometimes get store-bought stuff. We can't take the time to make every little thing from scratch. And especially when you're raising kids.
Yeah.
I didn't make everything from scratch when I was raising those kids. I try to pick, really good ingredients and good stuff. But, you just don't have the time for that. So I always say, give people a little grace, but, it's fun
for the whole family. Yeah. Like
Jacob is right. I definitely did make homemade cookies all the time. I never use that other stuff.
Yeah. We get everybody involved in it, and we have so many eggs. So I've been making quiche and just trying to use as many eggs as possible. Yeah. And, just kind of getting back into my mom really loved cooking. My grandma really loved cooking. It's in my blood, to cook. And I got out of it for a long time. So I'm getting back in the swing of it. So it feels really good. That's something that actually makes me really happy and fulfills me. And I didn't really remember that until now. And making good meals for my family. I love it.
Here's a question from Ronita. Isabel, does Jacob do any cooking?
You're shaking your head no. How do you know?
Oh, because I know. I know. I don't do any cooking. Does he?
No.
Yeah. Tell you the truth, I don't think any of my boys do.
No,
I don't think Jeremy does.
Either.
Or
no.
Did you cook with them, Amy, when they were younger, or
no?
You kind of at a point where you
tell you the truth, not as much as I probably would have liked. Like I said, I think that elements. It's not all TV. I don't want to make it sound like that. It's definitely not all TV, but TV did take up a big element. And in TV, you only have a certain amount of time. There are a couple of times that I cooked with the boys, and everything, and try to help them, understand just some basics and stuff like that. But I would have loved to have done one meal each week with one kid that he and I, or she and I, my daughter, would make the meal for the family. Each week we would do that.
Molly cooks, so yeah, your boys
Well,
don't.
Molly bakes a lot, but she cooks too. In fact, did I ever show you the eggplant mushroom? It's a vegetarian recipe, meatballs. Did I ever cook that for you?
No.
Oh, it turned out so good. I don't know if it's
Really?
gonna
Did
make
Chris
it
like it?
Well, no, I cooked it when I went to Molly's house because Chris wouldn't have. Chris would be like,
would if
"I'm going to Kentucky Fry."
no,
Yeah.
he would have liked it if he didn't know what was in it.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, anyway,
I will say this though,
Okay.
real quick. How Jacob, I don't know if you remember this, but how one of the ways Jacob won me over is he made me chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh yeah.
So he does know how to.
Something. Yeah.
So he did make me, and he knows how to make breakfast food. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Well,
So-
the one thing I think is really great because Tori cooks, Audrey cooks, but sometimes it's nice to get, some of those home delivery things just once in a while. Because like sometimes now that I'm going back to work, I'm like, oh geez, it's 3:30. I forgot to plan what we're having for dinner. Like what? Okay, yep.
You
I
have
got
to
this.
plan.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But to wrap this up, so what was I going to say? Oh, you're getting back into your art.
Mhm.
So are you still having a separate Instagram account, Art by Izzy or Isabella's Art?
So it's Art by Isabel Sophia. So it's my, it was Art by Izzy Rock. Now it's Art by Isabel Sophia.
I like that.
QR code right there. It's posted on our.
Do you have anything available right now? Or are you just getting back into it and soon you would have things maybe available?
So a common thing that people seem to really like was the bookmarks, but those are a little bit tedious. What I'm really focusing on is getting back into the heart of why I started painting in the first place, and it was just connecting to myself. And I basically had the idea that I see people with colors like attached to them. It's just something that happens as an artist. A lot of people can relate. You see things in color. And so I decided that I could interpret people's colors and I could offer that as kind of like I'm calling it soul portrait. So it's essentially I can do for families. So like say a family of 4 and they want all their colors incorporated to a painting. I like
do some freelance stuff too, right?
Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of commission based, but it's very specific to the person, less like, oh, I want you to match this to my home, but more like, what do you see the colors for me? Lisa put me on the spot the other day and she was like, what colors do you see she asked for you and for her. I think I did pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So
good.
I might have some future some paintings in your future. You have a birthday. I mean, it's a few months away, but
for it now.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. And I have a Substack writing platform where I
go to Art by Isabel Sophia.
Hey, TikTok. It's Art by Isabel Sophia on Instagram.
Yep. And that's the QR code you can scan on right there and it'll take you right there.
Can TikTok see that QR code too?
I don't think so. For some reason I can't get it up as close. But anyway.
Okay, well,
so you're doing commission art. You're also doing, which are pieces specifically that people have requested.
Yeah.
You're also going to have some of your art that is just available for people to purchase.
Yeah, some paintings that I create, and then I just like.
I always thought it'd be neat to have note cards too, because I don't know if people are into that. I personally think people should start getting back to sending out note cards instead of just a text message. Oh, happy birthday.
What do you mean by note cards? Like a card or like
yeah, like a card.
Okay, yeah.
Like a card and you can write in it.
Greeting card. A greeting card.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to provide the envelope too, but I still like that.
Yeah, I have all kinds of ideas. I had really, prior to COVID, I had art shows, all the time. Yeah. I really love, one of my goals, is to get back into having like in-person art shows now that we can all gather and be together.
Okay, so you're also doing poems. You're working on a poem book, correct?
I'm working on a poetry book, and I have a Substack, which is just a writing platform, and that is Isabel Sophia.
Subscribe to that and get a heads up on some of the things you're doing, and
Yeah,
And,
anything regarding my poetry book will be posted there and talked about there first before I post it anywhere else. And I do some sneak peeks, some poems from the book, and then people from my Substack will be able to get the book first, and they'll have signed copies of the book as well.
I just wanted to show you guys our conversation.
Yeah, so I'm really focusing on my art and writing right now, and it feels really good. And like,
so can I say something else?
Yeah.
So in between these wonderful things that you are doing, raising my grandson, Matteo, taking care of Jacob, Jacob's taking care of you, then you're going to get back into your art. You're going to get back into a poem book. Is there anywhere in there that maybe another grandchild? No.
Oh boy.
Whoa. Talk about on the spot.
Yeah, seriously.
Sorry, Isabel, I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lisa, that wasn't in the outline.
Most of the time, everyone just says, well, we're thinking about it. Maybe. I don't know. I just throw that in there.
Okay, well, do you want my honest thoughts? Do you really want me to answer?
Yes.
If you want, if you're willing, yes.
I see my sister-in-laws do the 2-year spacing, and it seems great, but my brothers and I were 10 years apart, and so I'm not afraid of a big age gap. I'm not going to be that big, but I'm not going to be 2 years apart. Does that make sense? Like, I think somewhere in between where I'm kind of just like we're talking about, I'm just kind of getting back into my stuff again and myself again, feeling like myself again. And if I got pregnant, I would have to stop painting, like, so.
The answer is no, Grandma.
I'm trying to
no, Grandma, not now.
Are you going for the record of how many grandkids can be?
No,
hey, but
I'm just razzing you. I'm just
Odge is having.
I know, Sue. It was a loaded question. I know, but I thought
no, but I mean it's fine. I'm an open book. I think that in a few years, like somebody's saying, my daughters are 5 years apart. I don't know. 5 years sounds good. 4 years. I mean, I just not this year. Like you're probably not going to get a pregnancy announcement from me this year. You never know what plans are in store for you, but at this time we're not planning.
Maybe next year, because that way it'd be 4 years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we just moved in here.
Right.
So
you're
just to make it clear, Isabel is not pregnant. I just wanted to.
No announcement, guys. Sorry.
I just wanted to.
Okay, just blast
but I'm going to be having a poetry book, baby.
Thinking about it.
My poetry book, baby.
She's giving birth to a poetry book, Amy.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get for Grandma Day next year.
Although somebody said, I see a comment here. Tori and Zach are no more babies, so people can stop commenting that on her photos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. They have decided that, 3 is enough for them, which is great. They've got some 3 adorable kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah. Wonderful.
Yeah, they are such
the one thing I love is that each one of my kids are different, but they have chosen very well their life partner, their spouse, their husband, or their wives. And so yeah, I just love Molly. I just love Isabel. Of course I love Molly, but I love Tori, I love Audrey. They just really fit the end, each one of my kids. So I keep praying for y'all.
Yeah, you are in a unique situation where all your kids got married.
And they actually like me. They actually talk to me. That's a whole accomplishment in itself.
I know.
Well,
some people
because of you. That's because of you, Amy.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's half. I think the majority is because, my kids,
because you were a good mom.
You raised good kids, and they attracted. I think, like you're saying, everybody is a really good fit, and I think that's probably comforting for you to know that all your kids, they found that.
That's great. Well, Isabel, we're probably, it's running past 5:30. So, it's only an hour. You know what, Lisa, I keep thinking we started at 4 and we started at 4:30.
Right,
Oh, we
right.
got
But
plenty
there
to
are
do.
some people who are asking about the fudge contest.
Okay.
So let's give out the code word and
We
then we
can
can
kinda
ask
continue on
Izzy.
just a little bit more, Izzy,
Yeah,
after
we
it.
can have
Okay.
Izzy a couple more questions. I
Yeah,
have a
I'm
good
good.
question for you. So
Here's
we'll
someone,
get
Susan
to
says,
that.
"My
Nobody
boys are."
can be, no question can be as loaded as the last one.
I know your hair is still smoking on
Um,
fire from that last one, but
Susan
okay,
Kelly,
people.
wait a minute, Susan Kelly here just said her boys are 5.5 years apart. Her granddaughters or something like that are 6.5 years apart. I would go for 4, but anyway.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody, 4 lucky winners: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and
TikTok.
YouTube. We've got red velvet, fudge, creme brulee, white chocolate raspberry swirl, and Amy ate the chocolate espresso fudge, so that's not on the
Chris and I,
plate,
well, mainly Chris
but
did.
it is included. It is included in the
She's
You
like,
have
it wasn't
4.
just me, it was Chris.
Yeah, it was 4. No, Chris
stole the
did
sample.
eat it.
He stole it. So, okay. The code word is Happy Valentine's Day, code sentence. So type in the words Happy Valentine's Day. And remember, if you don't win, you can buy it online here at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen, and you can give it away or buy it for yourself for a Valentine's treat because it's so yummy. All right.
It is great.
So,
I think it makes for a lovely, gift, but even just buying it for yourself or just having it is wonderful
yes.
too all year long. And we get different flavors, each kind of season. So this is kind of like our winter stuff. So TikTok, in order to win some fudge, if you didn't hear that, oh, you did hear it. Oh, I'm so happy. In the
Oh,
comment
good.
section, write Happy Valentine's Day. And that's
Well,
the
that's
code.
awesome.
And we'll pick one of you. TikTok, we'll pick YouTube, we'll pick Facebook, and we'll pick Instagram.
Yes.
So we're just going to take a moment
Yes.
to give people a chance to.
May the
Yes.
odds be in your favor.
I
What?
know.
May the odds be in your favor.
Yes,
Yes.
and odds be in your favor. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I have a question for you, Izzy. How do you describe your parenting style? And is it the same as Jacob's or is it different?
This is a great question.
It is good. Good job, Lisa.
Okay.
Oh, you got to do.
It's hard to describe your own parenting style,
Yeah.
But I will say it's different from Jacob's. I would say I'm just, well, I don't want to say fun, but I try to keep fun at the center, and I try to my parenting style would probably should speak kindness to my kid. And like I was raised with a parent who sometimes would just kind of my dad talked down to us and stuff, but without even recognizing like the impact that would have years later. And my therapist says that we kind of learn our place in the world by age 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so really just,
Interesting.
kind of like words of affirmation, I'd say, and like just kind of trying to build him up, like speaking words to build him up. Like, I love that you never give up, or,
That was a good choice.
that was a good choice, or that was really interesting, or, just kind of talking, kindness, speaking kindness over him basically, and speaking good words. And because, a lot of times like your parents' voice becomes your inner voice. And so I'd say my parenting style is to try to just show him to believe in himself. And my mom used to say this to me: you can do anything you put your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And that has always stuck with me. And so kind of just teaching that to him too. It's like, you can really do anything in this world as long as you really want it and go after it. And so, and I'd say I really try to incorporate a lot of crafts, a lot of art, whether he's into it or not. I've found that he's not necessarily a very crafty kid yet. He's more like,
But the thing
he's
is,
wanting
he
to
may not
wrestle
be,
and
and that's
tumble.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I do try, I'm very like kind of an artistic parent. I'll be like, hey, let's get the paint out. We'll do this. And I'll get it all out. And then he'll be like, do, and be like, I'm on to the next thing. I'll be like, okay. Yeah. So I try to be very like,
Well, he is too.
yeah, I know, it's true. And then
Yes.
Jacob is more, I'd say like a physically present parent. So he's the one like taking him out to do stuff and show him how a tractor works. And they'll roughhouse and play and really kind of getting that
Generally
energy
a
out of him.
typical guy thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he's very good at like showing him, getting on the ground with him and like showing how something works. And Matteo will ask the question like, how that works, Dad? And Jacob will take the time and like explain it to him. And I think that really means a lot too. And so
I think one of the most important things about parenting, both people parenting, their children, is most likely you will have different parenting styles, but trying to always remember that you guys complement each other, to support each other in whatever you're telling your children, whether you necessarily agree with it or not, or at least talk about it later and say, hey, I'm not sure where you're coming from with this. Help me to, understand that, so that we can both be on the same page for our kids or Matteo or whatever. So I think, because I think so many people, it's like, well, we disagree. Well, it's okay to disagree as long as you talk it out, because you both bring things to this parenting role. You come from different backgrounds, different experiences. So I think it's really acknowledging that we're both great parents together.
Yeah.
One person can definitely do it, but we all know it's very hard work. And sometimes one parent may do a little bit more because you're able to stay home, but someone's got to, do the other half and, bring in income, but you're both doing it together, just in different ways.
And that's something really interesting too, especially just, talking as your daughter-in-law. Jacob's more, I'd say, like calm. I can tend to be like, I have anxiety, so I can maybe be like a more anxious parent. And I think it's also with you, like your kids are growing up on the farm, they're getting hurt, they're breaking arms, like, and
I was very lucky on that.
I know, but you're pretty calm and collected. So like if anytime Matteo's gotten hurt or whatever, like Jacob's like calm in the situation, I get a little bit more anxious. And so that's a nice, well, it's not, I would say it's a nice balance, because both are serving a purpose. Like, okay, we should look into this a little bit more, or, oh, he's fine. And Jacob be like, if we weren't bleeding, we're not going to the hospital.
That's what I said.
That's Amy. That's Amy.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, hold on, So he's more calmer and like level-headed, and I can be a little bit more like anxious or like checking in on things. But at sometimes it's really served us, because looking into something more like him having an allergy, like, no, it's not just he's not sleeping through the night. I think something more is going on. Turns out it was. So sometimes maybe the more anxious or the more, I don't know, whatever it is.
I think part of it is also not, making everything into a crisis mode, because I think that gives off, and now your kid everything's a crisis. Like everything that goes wrong, it's a crisis. Or if I scratch my finger, I'm going to die, or something like that. It's really trying to help kids understand life happens. Let's check it out. Well, I know it may hurt a little bit, but you're okay. You're going to be okay. Put a little Band-Aid on it or something like that. But like you said, there are certain times it's like, this doesn't seem to be okay. There's been a couple hours and this is still, or it's been a few days and this doesn't seem right. We need to, which is discernment. As a parent, we have to be discernment. We have to have discernment and be discerning, because, we can't just go, oh yeah, hey, oh yeah, la-di-da,
Right.
But I saw a comment here, Amy, from Tori Edmonds-Fallis.
Oh, yes. Hi, Tori.
Hey, Tori.
Good people. Good people.
Said her daughter-in-law lets the kids help like in the kitchen, even though it can mean extra messes. And I got Matteo his own little like whisks and spatulas and stuff. And I tried to have him help me whisk eggs for scrambled eggs this morning. Guess how that went? It was cute, but then there was raw eggs all over the counter. So,
But I would agree with Tori Fallis on that too. And, because you never want to look at your kids as being an inconvenience. Yeah. Oh, geez, this is going to take forever. I got to do this, or he needs this. And, oh, geez, sometimes as parents, you may not be able to do that thing right now. Or you thought you were going to be able to go out with friends, but it just something happened and you just weren't able to do that. Definitely show your disappointment and stuff, but you're still happy to be there, whatever the situation is, helping your kid, your student, or whatever get through something. Because I think it also helps them is that sometimes the most planned event maybe just doesn't work out and it's going to be okay. Maybe next time or something like that. I don't know. I just have seen, some parents and everything. They just seem that the kids are inconveniencing, oh my gosh, their life. And
Yeah.
we should never think like that, because
No.
we definitely don't want to be an inconvenience to someone. So,
Right.
Right.
you know,
Well, hey, I know we're having so much fun, but we do have our winners ready to go. Amy, do you want to announce them? And again, we can stay on for a few more minutes after this, but our listeners have been on for an hour and 50 minutes.
yeah. And
That's
I thank you
awesome.
guys,
I love
TikTok.
it.
Thank you for hanging in there with me, because we are going to announce the winners now of our giveaway, which is the winter fudge flavors. So, who's our first one? Oh, on Facebook, it is Sherry Green Johnson. Facebook, Sherry Green Johnson. And before I announce the next one, I want to let you know, when we do announce your name, you need to get a hold of us. So email ourlittlekitchen@gmail.com. We'll repeat that at the end.
We'll
But
put it on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
send us your address.
So YouTube is Peggy Stevens. YouTube is Peggy Stevens. IG is Mom of 223. IG Instagram is Mom of 223.
Congratulations.
I mean, you had twins in the year 23. TikTok, that's you guys. Hey, that's you. TikTok. It is Laura Peterson. Laura Peterson, or TikTok Laura Peterson 47, but it's TikTok Laura Peterson.
Who's playing it by himself?
So anyway,
Awesome.
if you heard your name read, we might if you heard your name, we might repeat all the names again. But email AR Little Kitchen. It's right here on the screen here. But email arlittlekitchen@gmail.com to give your name, your address, so that we know where to send it, and stuff like that. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, let's do one more round. Just one more round of names.
So Facebook, Sherry Green Johnson. You are the winner. YouTube, Peggy Stevens. And on Instagram, IG is Mom of 223. And TikTok, it's Laura Peterson.
Hey, congratulations. And if you haven't won and you still want to get some delicious fudge for Valentine's Day for yourself as a treat, give away to your friends, family, we'll put the QR code up on here and you can purchase it now. There you go. Made in small batches, here locally, Portland, Oregon, delicious fudge. And we have fun making it. Well, not making it, but developing the flavor.
Fun working with them on picking the flavors and having.
Why I said make it. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
We're in the kitchen making fudge right now.
Fun fact about me: my mom was due with me on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, that was my due date.
Late.
But then I came a little late. So my birthday's February 19th. So if you want an idea for me, Amy, you could give me some fudge.
I will definitely do that.
Send me. And I have your email. I have your oh, I need your address. Oh, it's the farm.
I was gonna say, you know where I live.
Do I have to? Okay.
I think she can hand deliver this though, luckily.
But I think also for your birthday, your 28th birthday, you didn't you request a certain kitchen item?
Yeah, can you remember what it is?
I thought it was Le Creuset, or it was a pan.
Oh my gosh, I mean, Le Creuset would be amazing, but I just asked for a soup pot.
Oh yeah, soup pot.
Because
I'm trying to make a Le Creuset soup pot.
I'm not going to say that on camera. I mean, of course, who doesn't want a Le Creuset?
Okay. Well, I couldn't remember.
Whoa.
If it was that or a fry pan.
Oh, both. But you said you probably had an extra one that you could give me. A soup pot. I mean, I'm trying to make batches of soup in like a small little, like a soup pot.
Go
You know?
see mama. Okay, let him go
I
see
know.
mama. Your baby's
Can you
asking
tell we
for
don't spend a lot
you.
of time apart?
Yeah.
Well,
Go
you know
see
what? That's what happens
mama.
when you're an at-home mom too, because like I said, you're their friend. You're there all the time. You're the
Yes.
one and only person that, they trust, they, hang out with and
Yeah.
takes care of
Thanks,
them.
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yes.
I
That's
also
why.
Very
saw a really
cool.
nice comment from Denise earlier. Thank you. It's hard to these go by so fast, you guys. How do
I
you
know,
do
don't
it?
they?
I know. And we
It's like
love
we
them.
could
We
go on
just
for another
love,
hour.
Yeah.
we just
Thank you
love
for all your
doing this.
comments. We try to see them all, but we can't respond to them because
Yeah.
there's so many
Yes.
happening. But
And they go by so fast.
how do you,
Uh-huh.
Lisa, when do you pop them up? Is that you doing it or are they just popping up on their own?
It's me.
Okay.
Well, we try and grab them as soon as we can, but
Yes.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
thank you
let's-
everyone for your
yes,
comments.
thank
listening,
you.
being on, and
there were some questions on the cookbook. There's a soft version, a hardcover.
yes, I have both, but this is my soft covered one right here.
Yes, and you can get that on
And-
Amazon, and you can get that internationally. So that is something that can be done internationally. You could tell TikTok as well, maybe
Oh
that
yeah, TikTok.
it's
if you
not
get there.
limited. Yeah.
My cookbook is not limited to just the US. So if you're from Ireland, the UK, or anywhere that you can receive shipments, you can order this cookbook if you'd like. So I
Yep.
would love it. It's got a lot of great, delicious, comforting. Think of going back home, really.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Sounds good. All right. And then order fudge for Valentine's. Yay. Get
well,
some
Isabel,
treats.
I want to thank you so much for being here and being on. And I think we had some good, some
I loved it.
some ideas floating here and there. So hopefully some of you guys, we're able to take something from this. But I think it's really just conversations from the heart, inspiring, just our thoughts and, what's
Being
going
a
on.
new mom. Yes.
Yeah.
Rediscovering yourself.
Yeah.
Rediscovering yourself after becoming a mom and recognizing that you can be a person separate from a mom. You can have your own thing.
And I think even for Lisa and I, as we've raised the family and stuff like that, we're like, I'm rediscovering myself. Well, what kind of grandma do I want to be? I want to try and be that grandma where, yes, they want to have fun here, but I also want to support what my kids are doing as parents as well. And then the older we get, we're like, well, who am I now? Like, we're rediscovering ourselves at our age.
Well, and so my youngest just got engaged over New Year's, and they're going to be married next January, February. Yes. So if children come then, I'm going to be in a whole different boat, right? Than I am now. So it just keeps changing and evolving, just changing and evolving.
And that's why we have to give ourselves a little grace, have that core, because I think there's definitely a core basis to ourselves that really kind of stays the same because it keeps us grounded. It keeps us able to adjust to changes in our life, our different stages of our life, whether we're college age or newly married or a new parent or our kids are teenagers and stuff like that. There's still that core that, just really kind of helps us to, do our best to figure it all out. And, but I think we definitely have to adjust to change because life is full of it.
I think I just saw something and I thought this is perfect to describe just kind of where I'm at. And I thought, I want to be a really dedicated mom, but then I thought, okay, what kind of person am I the adult that I would want my kid to turn into? And I would want Matteo to not give up his dreams. Yeah. I would want him to be able to follow his dreams. I would never want him to feel like he was the reason I didn't do this or that, And so just kind of wanting to show him that you can have it all within reason.
Yeah.
But you can follow your dreams and be a parent and have just because you're a parent doesn't mean your life has to stop. You can continue. So I thought that was cool. That was a good perspective shift.
I love that.
And you know what? I think it's also important as a parent, especially nowadays, because everything comes at an instant. Everything in life, it seems to be at an instant.
Yeah.
We can go online and order something and it's here the next day or something. Right. And I think it's really helping our kids that life isn't always that way. Sometimes you've got to do the tough stuff. Like
work at it, right?
Well, I give people, some of the examples like, well, we all like wearing clean clothes and we all like new clothes and, stuff like that. Well, the laundry's got to get done. Well, who's going to do that? Well, I don't feel like it. Oh, I don't. Well, sometimes you got to do the tough stuff or some of the
Yes.
stuff that you don't like in order to appreciate, the stuff that you do like, or,
Yeah.
you got to, appreciate the rain and the snow so you can really appreciate the sun and the warmth
Yeah.
and the flowers growing. So, it's like helping these kids nowadays, I think even more so, really understanding that the tough stuff isn't bad. You just need to
Mhm.
do it. And
Yeah.
it just needs to be done. And you can't expect someone else to do it all the time for you. You've got to take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reading
Well,
that
here's
comment, Lisa. Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to read it?
Oh, have a wonderful evening, ladies. I enjoyed your conversation. Isabel, you seem like a very well put together young lady. I like also when Lisa adds to the story. Ordering cookbook soon. Good night. Lisa,
Awesome.
Woohoo!
nice that when you add to the story too.
Add to the story.
We call
Amy and I
ourselves
are,
Lucy and Ethel.
yeah, we're kind of a yin and yang,
Yeah.
Lucy and Ethel, it just flows well. We just have fun. And again, we're talking to people. I saw another comment on here earlier. She said, I just feel like I've been talking to my friends for the last hour and a half, right? I mean,
I know.
this is
To
our
me, that is
community.
the biggest compliment. I must
I
say.
know.
We love
I love
it.
that. Yeah. And Lisa, it's like when you called me the other day and you're like, do you have 15 minutes and turned to an hour and a half?
I know.
And I was a little envious of that because Lisa, called Isabel and said, "Oh yeah, let's talk." And I'm like,
You and I could always talk for
this
hours
is my
too.
daughter-in-law.
Yes, I know, but we had to catch up. We hadn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
talked
we
for
did
a
have a
while.
lot to catch up. So it's nice
Yes.
catching up with you again now. We should do it again.
Yes,
Yes.
we will. We will. Okay.
will.
Well, let's close the show by what we always say. And, it's true to our hearts to remember to be kind, think kind, and stay kind.
And always remember that you're an MVP because you matter, you have value, and you have purpose. Don't forget that.
All right, everyone. Thank you so
Love
much.
you, girl. Love you, Isabel.
Kisses,
Love
Izzy.
you.
Hugs and
Thanks
kisses.
for being on.
Nice to meet you all. Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay,
You
take care,
too.
everyone.
Bye-bye.